MSNBC, CNN, and the rest of corporate news media, and I put news in quotes, is absolutely fixated and has locked their 24/7 news cycle on suspicious packages.
Suspicious package.
Suspicious package.
This suspicious package.
This package.
And yet, Michelle Obama was in the White House for 8 years. But there wasn't one word, not one mention about her suspicious package.
Go!
That observation comes to us from subscriber Political Foolishness. You guys enjoy the video.
This is very sensitive information. I just want to be very precise in reporting about this suspicious package that was delivered to the Time Warner Center at Columbus Circle, where CNN's New York bureau is located.
As you've heard, there is a number of devices, and there's a pattern, apparently, for the number of devices. We wouldn't be at all surprised if more devices show up. A device has been sent to my office in Manhattan, which we were just informed about, and that device is also being handled.
I know a lot of you out there were very concerned about the well-being of Obama, Hillary, Soros, and Brennan. Don't worry, they're fine. They'll live to see another day where they can lie, cheat, steal, and engage in other corrupt practices as they seek to bring Americans to their knees. I want you to remember something as you watch this video. Politics is the art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering to dupe average people into accepting or even demanding their own enslavement. If it's possible to refute that simple claim, which is merely based on the observable and consistent actions of agents of the state, please do so using nothing but logic in the comments section below. Frequently, government has to deploy its highly paid army of media moles to inject a fresh round of fear and panic into the already zombified masses. And you already know how easy it is to do that. You just stand a corrupt, slimy politician in front of the camera, give him a nice suit and a worldwide audience, and have him spew comforting lies about he and his cronies are doing everything in their power to keep you safe. They will spare no expense. They will even deploy the full force and weight of the federal government to make sure you are not harmed. As they steal your wealth, lead you to war, take away your freedoms, disarm you, and lie to you on a daily basis. But we're from the government. We're here to help you and keep you safe. Never mind the fact that government controls what you see in corporate media and read in corporately controlled newspapers. That the CIA infiltrated every level of corporate media a long time ago is a conspiracy, but it's not a theory. It's just a widely documented fact that even got airtime back in the 70s in Senate hearings. The goal is to keep stirring the pot and drumming up fear in order to maintain their relevance, power, and feigned legitimacy in the eyes of those who still feel like they need a ruler to rule them. Such fear-inciting stories that they keep running on their networks, like this bomb scare, keeps things interesting, keeps the fear high, keeps the voters going to the polls to beg for a different master, keeps us divided, keeps money in the pockets of international bankers, keeps lawmakers in business, and it keeps viewers huddled around TV screens so that advertisers can pawn off their pharmaceuticals, their fast food, their poisonous sugary beverages, and their law firms onto the unsuspecting lemmings who still think that what mainstream media pumps out is legit. Be honest with yourself. You don't know if there are any bombs found at all. You only know what they tell you, and they only tell you what they want you to know. There is such a thing as psychological operations, and they're intended to convey selected information and indicators to audiences to influence their emotions, motives, and objective reasoning, and ultimately the behavior of governments, organizations, groups, and individuals. The things you really need to know are the very things they hide from you. Like the fact that the left versus right paradigm is a socially engineered scheme to keep the masses divided, and the fact that the Democrats and Republicans work for the same statist agenda. Why? To get you to continue to accept the chains of your oppression. They won't tell you that the real problem with this country is that fiat currency Ponzi scheme banknote you have in your pocket is the reason they can fund their wars and enslave the people. There's definitely more, but that's enough to get the red pill ball rolling. Let's see what these people are saying about this fake news propagated bomb situation.
If you talk to Trump supporters, what reporters do all the time, they say, oh, these aren't people who are in crisis. These are people who are being funded by George Soros, because that is what Donald Trump and other conservatives are saying, and the message is landing. That's the biggest contrast right now.
But wouldn't the next logical question be, is this based on fact? Is it true that George Soros funds left-wing movements? And is there evidence for that? We've gone over this many times in past videos. It's easy to see George Soros' fingerprints on most major American left-wing organizations. All you have to do is look at their financial forms. George Soros helps fund hundreds of left-wing groups in America each year under the auspices of his Open Society foundations. In just 10 years, Soros has given more than $550 million to liberal organizations just in the United States. And we're not even scratching the surface.
Between Democrats who are having a much harder time messaging against it, counter-messaging against this in a way that is resonating and is being repeated by their supporters the way that it is on Donald Trump's side.
You know, by the way, Willie, we heard the name George Soros brought up by the President of the United States. We've heard the name George Soros brought up by backbenchers in the Republican Congress. Blaming him for funding these caravans, blaming him for funding one, fake conspiracy after another. Last night, from what I understand, a explosive device was found at George Soros's Westchester home. In part, you've got to point the finger back to the president and these Republican members of Congress.
Yep, you got to. That's how the game works. You point the finger at them, they point their fingers back, and America stays nice and divided, just like they want.
That have just been spreading these conspiracy theories that have anti-Semitic overtones to them.
That was easy. Just classify things you disagree with as conspiracy theories and anti-Semitic, and you don't have to explain a dang thing. Just launch accusations and take MSNBC's word for it.
Towards George Soros.
Well, George Soros is the boogeyman. We hear it from Donald Trump's mouth. We hear it from Republicans' mouth that he's funding every dark conspiracy they believe is taking place around the world. And you're right.
But is any of that true? These people act like that couldn't possibly be true. Let's not examine the claims. Let's just deny them.
About 45 minutes to an hour north of New York City, up in Westchester County, where George Soros has a home. He wasn't home, but an explosive device was found in his mailbox yesterday. The police up there detonated it proactively. It didn't explode on its own, but someone sent what they believed was an explosive device to the home. It was placed in the mailbox of George Soros just outside New York City.
Wow.
Wow. Just take their word for it. This is what happened because MSLSD said it happened. We got no proof, just believe us, the media, and believe law enforcement, and leave it to us to keep you safe. Let's go see what Kim Jong-Clinton has to say about this.
I want to say a few words about the news this morning of suspicious packages.
Finally, we're going to talk about Michael Obama's suspicious package. Go ahead, Hillary. Don't let me interrupt you.
I want to say a few words about the news this morning of suspicious packages being sent to various public figures and a news organization.
Oh, those packages. Let's see what Trump's got for us.
The full weight of our government is being deployed to conduct this investigation and bring those responsible for these despicable acts to justice. In these times, we have to unify. We have to come together and send one very clear, strong, unmistakable message that acts or threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America.
But acts of political violence is what happens every time a law is made. A law is nothing more than the opinions of politicians written down and backed by the threat of force. Also, if we're not going to tolerate acts of political violence, Why aren't the Clintons, Obama, Ben Bernanke, and all the other Federal Reserve bankers behind bars? Why is the domestic terrorist organization known as the IRS allowed to continue to run roughshod over the people?
We cannot tolerate those cowardly attacks, and I strongly condemn all who choose violence. I'm grateful to the Secret Service, as well as the local and federal law enforcement, for all they do on a daily basis to keep us safe and encourage people across the country to choose kindness over hatred.
By the way, the rogue tyrants of the Supreme Court have already made it clear that it's not the role of police officers to keep any member of the public safe. They're under no obligation to do so. Warren versus the District of Columbia and DeShaney versus Winnebago County have established that.
We condemn these attempted acts of violence in the strongest possible terms. These cowardly acts are despicable and have no place in American society.
Like I said before, the IRS continues to operate as an unrestrained domestic terror force, ruining countless lives every single day. Surely cowardly, violent acts have some place in American society, or these suits wouldn't allow the Fed, or the IRS, the DEA, or the ATF, or the CIA to be in operation right now, right?
What we saw here today was an effort to terrorize. This clearly is an act of terror.
And nobody would know better about terrorizing people and taking away their freedoms than New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio. Right, Bill? You corrupt, Constitution-hating scumbag.
Attempting to undermine our free press and leaders of this country through acts of violence.
It's the height of irony that not just Bill de Blasio, but all political leaders are getting up there condemning violence as they derive their very lucrative paychecks by fostering acts of state violence. But nobody notices the hypocrisy. Nobody seems to care.
I want to make very clear that the people of New York City will not be intimidated, that we are going to go about our lives undeterred, because the very concept of terrorism is to change us, and we will not allow that to happen.
Which is hilarious, because every time something like this allegedly happens, these guys get up there and tell people we're not going to allow this to change us. Too late, it's already changed you, and you're getting up there announcing your changes to the world. You're letting everybody know that you're there to keep them safe.
This is the world we live in. Terrorism, the attempt to spread fear, is the world that we live in.
And guess what? They want you to be scared. They want you to beg for a leader to save you. They want you to beg for them to do something, anything to keep you safe. And they will pretend to keep you safe, but it'll cost the tax cattle a lot of money. Because hey, these corrupt families need some extra cash. Christmas is just around the corner. So perceived threats and danger and fear make them a lot of money. None of these politicians want peace. None of these corporate talking heads want peace. Peace doesn't bring eyeballs to the screen. War, bloodshed, mayhem, and threats are what brings home the bacon.
But it is a troubling time, isn't it? And it's a time of deep divisions, and we have to do everything we can to bring our country together.
Behold, Hillary Clinton, the champion of American reconciliation. Wait, what's this?
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Yeah, that's a great way to bring people together. The poster child for corruption and utter evil tells us that we have to bring the country together. Can the irony be any greater? And that's what it's all about, folks. See, whether the bombs were real or not.
We also have to elect candidates who will try to do the same.
Falsehood and fear is propagated so you can continue entangling yourself in the class warfare system called politics. Keep begging for a master to rule over you and everybody else. Keep consenting to the system that's rooted in corruption, deception, and greed. If these politicians truly condemned evil, they would abolish the Federal Reserve and the IRS just for starters. But the reason they don't do that is because it's really not about keeping you safe. It's about keeping them in power and you under their boot. Don't forget, politics is truly the art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering to dupe average people into accepting or even demanding their own enslavement. The question is, are you going to continue accepting that? I'll see you guys in the next video.
Suspicious package.
Suspicious package.
This suspicious package.
This package.
Guys, I don't know how much longer my channel will be around here on YouTube. Please take a minute and sign up to my email list. It's free, painless, and you'll get some cool stuff. Also, take another minute to subscribe to my decentralized, censorship-free BitChute and Steemit channels. All these links are in the description. I want you to know this. If my channel goes down, I'll still produce content for you guys through my website and through BitChute and Steemit. So make sure you stay connected through the email subscription link in the description below. Just watch the 45-second video on my website and you'll be all set. If you want to support my work on this channel, grab a shirt, snag a flashlight, or hit me up on Patreon and PayPal. I'll see you guys in the next video. Before you go, check out one of the most in-your-face, hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt stores on the planet. Just by wearing one of these t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, or cutoffs, and without saying a word, you can let people know that black rifles matter. You can inform the sleeping masses that fluoride is dumbing them down, that Google is a gulag-style censorship machine, that the Department of Homeland Security is merely security theater, that the NSA makes your private life their business, that the Grim Reaper supports everyone's troops, that we need to legalize freedom, that in life there are no excuses, that CNN is a communist news network, voting is the suggestion box of slaves, that 9/11 was a lie, and that all official stories should be questioned. Also, let people know we're in the middle of a full-blown sheepvolution, taxation is theft, the IRS is an immoral robbery service, cops enjoy protecting and serving the crap out of you, that the space you occupy is not a gun-free zone, and that gun-free zones are the most dangerous places on earth. Your purchase helps support more hard-hitting content on my censored channel. As of the recording of this video, I have over 90 designs. I take your requests for new designs, and I'm adding new ones every week, so check back often. The link to the store is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.